What up, beautiful people? This is your boy Doomy coming to you live from home studio.
Hello, everybody, and my name is Boo. Before we continue, hey guys, just wanted to let you know, please remember to like, subscribe, follow the notification bell thingy so that you can receive the 2020s that you need to do the things to make it a part of the happen to the things. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, we try to post videos every Friday, So if everything works out well, we post Friday, Mo3, Sibam Nandi. Anyway, guys, so remember story where he mentioned Uguti when he was younger, there was a guy who said take a penis of
That's a lot.
and put it on your face. If you have pimples and stuff, it makes your face smooth. So, well, not that I want to go with anything to disapprove it, but then the video came up, right? So then also my cousin watched the video this week, and then she mentioned, look, hey, when I was approximately 2 years or even younger, the same happened to me. Someone used me in that way. Now I feel molested because wow, no, you
I
can't.
told you. That's when Osile. Look here. I did remember the last time I mentioned that Dumsan is actually jealous. There's no person who can go out just looking for a video. He is jealous because now he wants to be molested also. He thinks I don't know. There's nothing nice about that. So now you want to be with him because me now guys something that makes me different. You now want to come and say you also. Michelle, look now. Why? Leave
I was
me.
not,
Leave
and I'm
me.
still not jealous. I
Let me.
was.
And I'm sure if I say now. Next week you'll come and tell me that, oh, by the way, also those ladies from your church used to touch you also.
They went from our church, like they went from NTPC. I don't know. They're
Hey,
probably just people from Eldos from around there. But anyway, guys, I still feel like, well, yeah, it depends on which end of the stick you are at, eh? I guess. Baba Bantu, I'm sure he was just feeling, hey, guys, I'm hurt though. Anyway, on a more serious note, guys. So, firstly, I'd like to apologize for our guest. She still can't make it. Yeah, she's tied up in a lot of things. So, yeah, you know, I guess we'll just speak on the importance of what we've learned in this of mental health. Firstly, we are not any capacity can we give formal or helpful advice when it comes to anything pertaining to mental health or illnesses. But we've experienced and we've spoken to a lot of people, and hey, guys, this thing, First one, I think, which is the most underrated and um hmm, most misunderstood mental illness, I think, is depression. Like,
hmm,
I think
hmm,
there's a lot of people. A lot of people are just, guys. It's normal to be sad, and it's normal to not be,
hmm,
um, for something to not sit well with you. I mean, you are human. You have emotions, right? So when things don't
hmm.
treat you well, when people don't treat you well, and things don't go well, you can get sad. But now, because you said for a long while, does not mean you are depressed. Like, what? No, guys. Nokuthi boyfriend yakhe ikudampile and no, that does not mean you suffer from the actual mental illness, which is depression. I feel it's much deeper than that, because I think Dengani and we as people, those of you who know more about these things, educate each other. Educating others in terms of you need depression, so that people can't go around and throwing the word around and saying, "Oh no, I'm
Depressed.
depressed.
Yeah, depressed.
I'm depressed. I'm depressed." I would rather want to. Then someone who's actually depressed, because people have misused this word so much. You no longer take someone who's actually depressed that serious. And I want to read a dictionary definition of what depression is. Ne? It says a state of mind producing serious long-term lowering of enjoyment of life, meaning you
Hmm.
don't enjoy life. Guys, being sad is momentary, not a thing that lasts.
Yeah.
You are just sad
In
because
fact, you can for like 2 seconds you can even forget. You should do no Tamuk. Hello, my Tamuka is my neighbor, guys. Yeah, but so go to Lapa no Tamuka, and then you forget that you were said 2 minutes ago, and then Masubuya La one, and then you're like, oh right. let me go back and feel sad. You're not depressed.
For real though, I think, man, it comes down to a matter of habit. Man, now you're used to always being sad and putting your face and getting some type of attention. So now you've conditioned your mind into thinking, with Yasin, if I want this, I must behave like this. If I'm alone, I must behave like this. If I'm in a group of people, I must behave like this. And then you convince yourself that you're depressed. Meanwhile, you're not even depressed. Oh, you go to a psychiatrist, you go to a psychologist, you end up wasting your own money paying these people to help you with something that you don't even struggle with, you know? But also, guys,
But better safe than sorry, though.
huh?
Better safe than sorry, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm not disregarding it. I'm just saying, but you know, people should, you should, I don't know, people should have like, we should all know about it so that we know how to help people. I mean, if you're gonna come up to me and you say you're depressed, what do I do? Well, I know how to talk a lot. Not that I know what I'm talking. I just know how to talk a lot. So I can even talk a whole lot of gibberish and someone will be like, you know, Dumi, what you're saying is very right. No, thank you. Help me. That time I just spoke a whole lot of gibberish. And who knows, that person might be healed for that moment and come back later. Like, I mean, so we must find a way to help people long term. It mustn't be a short term thing. We must find a way to help people long term so that in the long run, people have um, are able to deal with their state of depression. You know, like, yeah,
So,
like,
being a contribute, like to someone else's depression. Because sometimes I'm sure these things start like this. At his house, he's going through the most. He goes to whether it's school, whether it's work or whatever. You go there, you make fun of this person, you bully this person, you do all these funny things. You're gonna contribute to this person's depression. Yo, zombona. Imagine umuntu sekazingile intabo lapha esihlahleni salapha eFred Norman. Ngenxa kaDumsana, ngokushaya abantwana bama-grade 10.
hence we need to be more educated when it comes to mental health, mental illness and depression in particular. And then there's, I don't think, grief is not eh? Well, I think I'd like to think so. You know, I think a lot of things come with it, but not grief itself. Because I've heard people who are like, yeah, no, I suffer from a mental. Okay, well, I recently heard a friend who said, no, you know, I actually have a mental illness. You guys are speaking about, like, really? What is your mental illness? I suffer from grief. I'm like, what? Grief is a mental illness. How? You know, and the person couldn't explain. And when I checked,
I don't know.
personally, I didn't see any articles or any website that speaks of grief being a mental illness. But one thing they did mention is grief can contribute to mental illness. I don't go back to the person because now, you know, some people take things. They don't take things lightly. They find it very difficult to just to accept that I was wrong in this case. I'm not. Maybe it's that person's way of getting attention from loved ones or whoever, guys. Like, but my advice personally is, guys, check up on your people. Check up on them.
Yeah.
Make sure good that right. Think cool, make cool is this right, and be jolly, man. Yeah, be jolly. Like, everything in life needs to be serious, eh? And seriousness does not mean ubu uptight and whatever else, you know. Like, come on, guys, come on. And can we stop judging each other? Like, don't judge me if you don't know my story. You know, like, sit down, take a moment, get to know what I'm doing, what I'm going through. Then,
Okusalayo nje okusalayo ungenaphi first of all.
yeah, that's also
Vala
another.
your business.
Good to get up. Like, do you feed me? Do you
How?
do you do you
Where
clothe
do you enter in my life? Where do you enter in my life? How? I met you 2 minutes ago, 2 weeks ago. Now you want to come and be, hey, don't papella us now here. Yes, depressed.
like, if I have to, if I have to confess. So I had not a problem per se. So I had this thing. I think it's a bad characteristic where, you know, you saved, you feel like, I'm holier than thou, I know Jesus, and whatnot. Why seeing someone else, he's sinning differently to how you are sinning? Because your sin is not out in the public. You're not out there swearing everyone in the street, whilst he
Mm.
is drinking and they're having fun. And like guys, because ngitshila nabantu abaphuzayo or ngitshila nabantu ababhemayo, it don't mean I do any of those. In fact, I'm not even tempted a little bit by those things. But I've realized it's very fun to chill around those people because they're not uptight. They are real. And you actually find out when you have these conversations about Christ, you'll find out yes, these people actually know Jesus. They actually do. Some of them might
Better than a lot of us.
exactly better than those of us that actually go to church. Those of us that actually spend time telling ourselves that we are so what saved. Like guys, oh yeah, no. Mbele siphila. And then before Streta, so I was just watching this guy, and then he was speaking of church hurt.
Hey, watching when
I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Television is boring now, so YouTube does the things. Anyway, so this guy was speaking of church hurt and how it is real. Guys may have never experienced church hurt. Listening to what he was saying, I think I have a little bit, somewhat of an understanding. Because people tend to say, no, church hurt. You can't say you live in church because you've been hurt by the church. You never came to church for people. You came to church for God. Firstly, let's hold up. Let's slow down. Firstly, God uses people to minister to
mm,
you and to get to you, right? Not all of us are at the same maturity level where we will understand what I came to church for God. So people are going to be people. They are going to say, do things. They're going to hurt me, right? So we must be very careful on how we deal with such situations, because in your deal, like for example, if I decide I've been hurt by the church or by whoever's in the church, some smart person's gonna come up and be like, nah, but you've been serving God for how many years? By now you should know certain things. And like, what? Why? Why can't you take the courtesy and be like, tell me what's wrong? Are you okay? Speak to me. And do your part. And once you see it, okay, I've tried my all to do me, and my nigga just don't want to listen. There's nothing I can do. You've tried your part. How are you out there telling, yeah, no, this person should know better? Hey, hey, guys, guys. In that, I firmly believe, Guti, we actually breaking down the kingdom of God more than we build it. Because another thing, God said Jesus came not for the saved, the righteous ones, those that know Him. He came for those that are struggling to not that they don't know Him, but they are struggling to accept Him, His principles, to accept the lifestyle. So we as people who have found it easier, I think we should make it easier for others. Babam, being
yeah.
aside, carry them. Not saying baby them now, like, but to what extent you can help someone. I mean, come on, guys. Because you hear, like, literally, you hear people saying, "Do me, why don't you start a church?" I'm like, what? Where Tanya? It takes someone to start a church. They're like, yeah, no, to me, you understand us. I'm like, guys, firstly, I I believe that whoever's in whichever position is there, God, right? And if maybe
Mm.
you're being mistreated, I'm not saying it's right, but what I am saying is, Guti, how do you know Guti, God did not put you there deliberately so that you can be molded for your own future? Guys, I can
Yeah.
never in my life, I can't. Okay, maybe not my life, but I can't at this point start a church. There's so many things already. And the people who are there, they know, my husband's but right, but am I right? Guys, and everyone is human. Can we not make
Yeah.
this seem as if they are superhuman? They are also human too. They will get frustrated. They will get angry. They will get upset. But in their anger, well, some of them can sin. But I don't think they do it out of hatred, out of love at the end of the day. Especially.
We'll never really know.
But if the person
We will never really know.
and says and apologizes, I mean, there has to be at least an ounce in them that feels guilty because they're coming to apologize. I mean, even if they can say to you in that moment, I don't care whether you leave or not, but then at the end of the day, then they come to you and then they apologize. I mean, them still cares if you are there or not, even though they said otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so yeah. Well, guys, man, I was just throwing that in. I was starting a conversation. I just think this church hurt thing needs.
It's coming. I was like, this one, let me just do it. That one needs another series of its own.
For real, because I've never experienced it, so I can't really speak much on it. But I feel
Yeah.
like there are people somewhere there who have at least experienced it once or twice. Someone who's maybe experienced it the first time and they're like, okay, maybe that church was not for me, and they tried it, and something similar happened, and they decided, with Yazin, I'm no longer doing this church thing. It's not for me, because you get people who I can't find the word, but they find a way to use the word of God to comfort themselves in not partaking. They tell you, God says my body is the temple of the Lord. I don't need to go to a church to feel the presence of God, which is true. But God also says, do not miss the gathering of the saints. Because in the same breath, when many come, when get in his name, his presence is there. And also when they come in their numbers, one will come with a song, one will come with a prophecy, one will speak in tongues, one will interpret the tongues, so forth and so forth and so forth. So, I mean, yeah. Anyway, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell notification, guys. We love you a lot, so yeah, we are grateful for your support. So, Bonga, we are grateful. Thank you very much. Sharp and aware.